Welcome to How to Build a Board Game with me, JWAM. Today we're going to look at a game called Das Bier hier. As the name implies, it is in fact in German. Why? Because. That's why. I can't keep talking like that, sorry. I built this game called Das Bier hier for an event or a competition that has nothing to do with board games. It was more of a bribe for those who arranged it. Anyway, the game is quite a bit like Ludo, where you have 4 pieces each that need to travel around the board and into the goal, which is in the center of the board. In this version, however, the pieces are bottles of beer, and the goal is Das Superkorb, that is the big tote in the middle. And the more bottles you bring into the game, the more drunk you get. And the more drunk you get, the higher the chance that you stumble from the main paved road and fall into the small pathways of the park, from which you need to find your way out again. Also, if you end up on the blue event stones, you roll a die to find out what happens. And of course, depending on how drunk you are, the outcomes vary. Here I am cutting out the actual board. I'm making it in 2 pieces since I want to use hinges to make it foldable. Nachos. I didn't use any screws as the plywood is so thin, so I attached the hinges with some epoxy instead. This paper thing was actually supposed to be a prototype, but then I realized that I might as well use it as the stencil for the paint job. Before gluing the stencil on, I painted the board green. I used some grey on the main tiles and then dabbed on some lighter grey with a sponge to make the tiles seem more stone-like. My plan here was to take it off in one piece to keep it as a reference for the numbering of the tiles. How wrong was I? Unfortunately, the paper got stuck beneath the paint as well, so the lines weren't crisp at all, but I fixed that with a black marker. I used CAD to design plans for the toads. And then the tedious work begun. I had some issues with my activator spray, as you will see, but I ended up using it anyway. It was still easier than using your fingers and time. And then it was time to put some magnets on the beer bottles. I think I started building this project on a Saturday, and the hard deadline was the next Saturday. This is late Thursday evening and I'm starting to panic. I'm running from one machine to another. I still had the tree and the box to make. even though this whole game was just an elaborate joke and I didn't have any time to focus on the details. I hope you got some ideas to your own board game. I'll shut up now.